patterns in my life. So it was what you might say a difficult exploration. One second. On a Wednesday night in midwinter, my husband Ted enters the front door of our house. Wednesday is our night out. He goes to his favorite bars, and I see a movie or meet a friend for dinner. Today is one of those dark, frozen days in Michigan, the temperatures ranging from 0 to 10 above. Before Ted can close the door, snow spits into the warm room. His gray knit cap and black coat are covered with ice crystals. He shakes them off and hangs the jacket and cap on the back of a chair to dry. He moves out of the shadows and warms himself before the fireplace, his long fingers standing apart. He leans toward the flames, loses balance, and catches himself. Ted turns his face toward me to reveal the wide, uneven smear of red lipstick around his mouth, like a clown with smudged makeup. Did all of the topless dancers kiss him during his weekly visit to a bar? I realize that Ted has been made the butt of a joke. One of his friends, I imagine Sherry, his favorite, has plotted to get him in trouble with me. I envision her and his other women friends standing around him as he perches on a bar stool, half-empty beer mug sweating in his hand. He's been on that stool for several hours, drinking beer after beer and gazing steadily at the women, his glazed eyes mirroring the dancing ladies. Their breasts jiggle and bounce as one of them kisses him, a fresh coat of lipstick applied just a moment before. Fresh lipstick smudges best. I'm surprised that even these women would make fun of a disabled man. You have lipstick all over your mouth. I speak my words slowly. I point toward my face as if I'm talking to a small child. He laughs. Then he shuffles into the bathroom to look in the mirror. While scrubbing his face with hand soap and rinsing with warm water, he speaks hesitantly through the bubbles, water dripping off his chin. They framed me. They played a trick on me. I say goodnight and nothing else. I turn toward the fire. As much as my chest and stomach clench, I'm determined not to show my feelings. I married Ted in 1988, 1.5 years after he suffered a stroke to his left brain. The resulting aphasia left his speech garbled and robbed him of the ability to understand what a person was saying to him, a terrible irony when he had spent his professional life as a college English teacher. Throughout our 5 years of marriage, my son Owen and I, along with friends and family, communicated with him mostly by writing notes, and as time passed, by speaking very slowly. He would try to read our lips, and sometimes he could, but we always needed pen and paper nearby. As I write this, more than a decade after his death, I question myself as I have many times before. Why did I marry a man who was 16 years older than I, who has suffered a stroke and whose excessive smoking and drinking could not be ignored? During the months of our affair, during his illness, I craved him. His flesh, the scent of beer and nicotine, seemed just like Dad's. After the stroke, it was a matter of honor. I had to be loyal, I told myself. I had to soldier on. I loved him, and as everyone around us believed, I had helped to break up his family. I feared he would return to his former wife. I couldn't have that, could I? Suffer the embarrassment of having to give up my relationship and be alone again. I know now that I could have left him then. Few would have blamed me. But I couldn't throw off that old mantra. I love him. Maybe I can help him. The morning after Ted came home painted with lipstick, I write him a note. What you do is your business, but I don't want to have gonorrhea, syphilis. I'm teaching. I don't want a syllabus either. I did that earlier, and I said, don't do that. I don't want to have gonorrhea, syphilis, or AIDS. Please let me know if you have sex with any of your lady friends. I wanted to make absolutely sure he understood me. I wanted him to know that I was standing strong, separate from him. I really wanted to shout, it's over. I kept hearing myself say the words, I'm done, but I just couldn't say them yet. I was waiting for something, I didn't know what, to help me leave. It was that same old feeling wanting to leave, the feeling that made my stomach quiver with fear, the one that made me want to hide, to run away. I wouldn't admit that there was also something exciting about leaving. Although change is scary, I've always looked forward to a rosy future, a time of possibility, to change and involvement. I'm 3 years old, and I live with my family in West Lafayette, Indiana. My daddy is at work with his ROT classes at the college. One afternoon, I'm sitting on the hardwood living room floor playing with my dolls and my favorite stuffed bear, Fido. The doorbell rings. Mom opens the door, and there are men from the ROTC building in the doorway. Daddy hangs like a limp sack between the two of them, and one stands behind him to hold him up. They don't say anything. The men undress Daddy down to his white boxers and t-shirt and carry him upstairs to my parents' bedroom. If there's any sound, it is of the men groaning and scuffling up the stairs, carrying my heavy father. I watch his body slump and dip at the waist, and he looks like the hammock hanging between two trees, like the hammock my teenage sisters Margie and Betty sleep on in the backyard some afternoons. Margie isn't home, so Betty takes me upstairs to my room and reads me The Three Little Pigs. Something special must be happening because Betty doesn't talk to me much, just reads the story. The late afternoon sun streams through the open window behind her. A breeze moves the curtains gently, like I'm supposed to feel calm, but I don't. Betty tries to read the story like my teacher does, but she sounds scared, maybe angry. I wonder if she's mad at me. "Take care the wolf does not catch you," she reads. I can hear my sister's breath coming faster. Is Betty afraid too, like the pigs? I'm scared, but I don't really know why. As the story goes on, the first two pigs aren't smart enough. They build houses that the wolf can blow down. Betty reads on, and her voice sounds like wood, hard and rough. The third pig is smart, and he builds a brick house so the wolf can't blow it down. Now the wolf won't catch me and eat me. Betty sounds out of breath. This pig is safe. As I listen, I pull my knees tighter into my body. My house could be blown down by a scary breath like the big bad wolf's. How can I be like the smart pig, safe in a house that won't disappear? As Betty reads, a groan comes from the room across the hall. I hear a bedroom door close. The men clomp downstairs. I hear murmuring, "Good night, Mrs. Nelson," and then it goes quiet. Always quiet after these things happen at my house. Thank you.